citizenship test prep practice. This video will take us through questions probably 16 through 30, and I will ask the question, give a pause, give the answer, and then if there's any explanation, try to go into that so maybe it's a little bit easier for you to understand. So let's get started. Question 16, name the three branches of government. There's a couple choices. The most common is legislative, executive, and judicial. However, they mean the same. Legislative is Congress, executive is president, and judicial is the courts. So those are the three. You need one of those two sets of words. You pick the one that works best for you. 17, the President of the United States is in charge of which branch of government? That answer is the executive branch. What part of the federal government writes laws? Is the U.S. Congress, or if you're going by branches, it's the legislative branch, and you could also say the legislature. But I think if you're learning branches, just go with legislative branch. It's probably the easiest, so you only have to remember one thing. What are two parts of the U.S. Congress? You have the Senate and the House of Representatives, and those are your two answers. Pretty much just have to know those. Those are the two answers. Name one power of the U.S. Congress. You'll notice this has a star by it. That means it's a question for the people that are, if you're over 65. One power of the U.S. Congress is writes laws, declares war, makes the federal budget. I think laws is the easiest one. Legislative has to do with laws, so that's probably the easiest one I would think, but you get to pick one of those three and make that your correct answer. How many U.S. senators are there? There are 100, 2 for each state, 50 states, 50 times 2, 100, 100 U.S. senators. How long is a term for U.S. senator? 6 years. U.S. senator is 6. Who is one of your state's U.S. senators now? Sorry. This is for Nebraska. So the two choices are Pete Ricketts, Deb Fischer. Pete Ricketts and Deb Fischer. And that's what's going to show on the screen. If you're watching this and you're not from Nebraska, you have to do a little online research to find out who your senators are. How many voting members in the U.S. House of Representatives? That is 435. That is not the same for each state. It varies on population, which is another question that will come up here later on. So it's 435. How long is a term for a member of the House of Representatives? That is 2 years. 2 years. Why do U.S. representatives serve shorter terms than U.S. senators? To more closely follow public opinion. They are considered to be your first contact in the government. So if you don't like what they're doing or they're not responding to your needs, you have an earlier chance to remove them from office through election. So they're supposed to talk to their constituents, who are people that they represent in their district, and that's why they have a 2-year term. How many senators does each state have? We've kind of talked about this already. 2. It's the same for each state. Large, small, population doesn't matter. Why does each state have 2 senators? It's called equal representation. So the bigger states wanted to make sure they had a voice, but the little states said, hey, we need the same voice. We're just as important as you. So the Senate is equal. The House is based on numbers. So equal representation is probably your best answer there. Name your U.S. representative. This is the southeastern part of Nebraska that I'm doing this in. If you are in a different part of the country, you'll have to look that up. Ours is Lincoln, Nebraska area, Mike Flood. Most of my students are in that area, so that's the one that I give. All right, our last one in this set. What is the name of the Speaker of the House of Representatives now? That one has the little star by it, so it's one of the over 65 questions. And that answer is Mike Johnson as of September 2025. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and I'll try to get back to you. Have a great day.